All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of the VZ podcast. And today, I'm happy to introduce our first ever guest on the podcast. The man with the most healing Instagram feed, I would say myself. The definition of go touch grass. Mr. Alde, the Gundam guy.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much
Hello.
for having me on the podcast.
Yeah, we've been very excited to have you. So thank you for
Very,
taking your time.
very.
So
I feel like it's been a long time coming for something like this. Very honored to be the first guest.
this is also your face reveal, right? Just like Jay. So
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think
Wait.
I've really posted much of myself.
this is the perfect time. So
Mhm.
I want to start off this podcast by asking a very simple but complex question. Who are you today?
Ooh, I am Alde the Gundam guy, as most of you know me from my plant aesthetic, which is sitting behind me. Pretty much, I'm a 30-year-old engineer who has done Gunpla for most of his life and will probably continue to do so because I'm addicted to plastic like most people.
Now, whenever you say most, or do you mean like out the womb most, or like
I'd
most
say
most?
like as soon as you watch like a mecha anime, like addicted, like not out the womb, but probably like 8-year-old kind of tsunami thing.
So you're a Gundam Wing guy, and that's what it is.
I wouldn't say I'm a Gundam Wing guy. Actually, like the beginnings of Gundam for me started with G Gundam. So, take that as you may. Like, yeah, it's pretty old.
Okay, nice.
And so I guess the first question or the second question would be like, what have you been up to recently? Like, how's life been?
Yeah, so I know like I haven't been as active as I typically am. I go through these like ebbs and flows. I just got married in May, so I've been really like busy.
Let's go. That's why he's the
Yeah,
GOAT.
so
That's why he's the GOAT.
yeah, so finally ring on the finger kind of guy. But yeah, so I've been
crazy.
kind of doing everything like Warhammer. I've been trying to get my room set up. As you can see, I have a bunch of plants like in the back that are kind of just like taken in the sun recently. And I build more in the fall. So my current like thing is that I just started taking the full mechanics aerial out of its sprues. And as you guys know, I'm crazy when it comes to building. These are literally all of the pieces out the runners. I've built for so long that the way I build is pretty much like any OCD person's nightmare. I take all the pieces out.
That's exactly how I
then
build.
I build. So I think it's probably like a thing for people like you, Akro, who probably like paints a lot. You get used to like taking these things apart and putting them back together multiple times to check gaps or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. I was painting kits, decided that I didn't want to wait to like do the instructions because it takes way too long, and so I started doing that. Started buying the little bins and separating all my pieces by color because I have a different type of OCD.
I saw like a video on YouTube, but like if you're gonna customize a kit, by the time you like cut the piece out, put it on the little clip, paint it, take it out, and get ready to assemble it, you've seen that piece like 5 times.
Exactly.
By that time, you're used to what it looks like. So most of us, if you're gonna paint or like customize it, there's not really a point of, I guess, doing it step by step. And so, yeah, I completely get it. It saves a lot of time for those who, I guess, are looking into maybe faster methods of building. It just cut out everything, put it into different colors. If you're gonna paint it, also, you can just separate it into colors and then go like that. So I'll highly recommend it.
Yeah, whenever I have done a video where I've shown the bins separated, I always get comments like people saying, "Why do you separate them like that?" Like I would, if you knock that over, you'd lose like all the pieces and you'd never get the kit like fully together again. And that's true. I think like if I was ever clumsy enough to just knock like all of these little white pieces onto like a white carpet,
It's
like the
over.
kit's probably toast. Yeah, like you probably have to go out, buy a completely new one. But so far, everything's been like perfect. So
I
no
have
worries there.
I have a rule with my apartment where if I'm building a kit, no vacuuming until it's done. Because there's always a chance that there's like a piece on the ground. So like I don't want that happening. So no vacuuming
Yeah.
until it's done.
I have that same rule, but with the sprues.
That's-
I don't throw them out until the kit is completely assembled, because chances are sometimes you can throw them away, and then you're like, oh my god, I was clipping the pieces out and totally forgot that bit.
Yep.
So
That middle
I agree with you.
V-fin part, the amount of times I've left it on the runner, like that tiny
Oh,
V-fin. Yeah.
the little like forehead V-fin
Like
holder
connector.
thing. Yeah.
Yes. So,
Yep.
See, now that's crazy because I just sent Daniel some kits, literally today, and I think I threw all the I threw away the runners.
I'm so worried. I texted him too when he was doing that. I was like, I swear to God, I'm
Dude,
gonna be
I
missing
triple
a
checked.
part.
I triple checked. I swear. The only thing I'm pretty sure you're not gonna get is like the pilot figure
I don't
because
even.
I don't cut those
I
out.
don't even.
Yeah,
I throw those things out. But
yeah. No, I triple checked too. I hope nothing goes missing. I swear to God, I'm so nervous for it.
so how did you get into gunplay? You said you've been building since the beginning.
Yeah. So, funny story. I think for me, Gunpla goes pretty far back. I was maybe like 5. I had a cousin who was like super into, at that point, Gundam Wing. This was, I don't know if you guys can remember that time. There was maybe like Toys R Us era, like peak Toys R Us era. Um,
Dude, what is that?
we Yeah, so it's an old toy store. For those of you on the podcast who don't know what Toys R Us is, it's a very old toy store, and they pretty much had like a peak '90s like era with Toys R Us, where they had action figures, model kits, and I think toys were at its like highest. And I think we're kind of going back to that. But the way I got into it was that my cousin, who was quite a bit older than me, he was maybe like um, in his early 20s when I was like 5 years old. And he really liked putting together model kits. And he would take me with him on weekends to go to Toys R Us and he'd buy me something. And what ended up happening to me was that the first kit I actually ever built, sorry, was a no grade like Gundam Shenlong. And
Hmm.
it was these like very, very annoying polycaps. It had like no articulation. If you've built any of those like early Gunpla kits that barely like move, like have like one polycap for the hip joint,
Yeah.
and it's just like a ball peg, that's pretty much what I built. But I was so bad at it. I was 5 years old, right? So like anything that I would have built back then would have been built with like a nail cutter or scissors trying to get the pieces out of the sprue. So it was so bad. And I really like to play with them. So I just beat the crap out of these things. I don't think they survived. But what did survive was in the year, I think 2001. We had a huge Christmas. My parents were doing very well. And my mom bought me what would have been like a then, I think it was Toy Biz figure that's maybe like one like eighth scale of the Gundam or Wing Gundam. And I actually have him right here. So uh, he doesn't have all of his pieces. He's very, very old.
Holy
Wow.
chunker! What the
Yeah,
heck?
Wow.
but
That is.
he is humongous. He's obviously missing his wings. He's missing his beam saber. His legs and his arms and his head are somehow still intact. But my mom gave it back to me not too long ago. And this thing was pretty ridiculous. I mean,
Cover him
it's
up. He's showing a little too much there.
I know he's got this like peg here that is definitely not pod
Wait,
friendly.
dude, you should not be touching it like that.
Yeah, I know. I'm
We're about to
sorry.
get.
I just,
Oh, we're gonna get
like two
demonetized.
fingering it. Yeah. But
No
I
way.
love him. He is nostalgia like capsule for me. So I don't know if some of you on the podcast will enjoy this or remember this or maybe like point it out, but this is one of my oldest figures, and I plan to maybe one day go on eBay and buy one that's been, completely like either restored or something, or maybe parts for them, and repaint him and just have him on display. I think that'd be really cool.
You know what? No, you scratch build the rest of the parts that are missing. That would be
Oh my goodness, that would
crazy
take
project.
forever.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a good point. Like, if I 3D printed all of the bits and designed them myself, I think I could get something really cool. But having the original, I think, like, would
Yeah.
be even cooler, So that's the start of Gundam for me, anyway.
You're definitely an OG for sure. I feel like most people that I guess we meet these days have recently gotten into it. I would say like I think the most common thing I hear is they don't have a lot of things to do during COVID, so they got into like building
Mhm.
Gunpla during then. That's probably the most common thing I hear, or like right afterwards. So yeah, like meeting. I mean, it's not like rare, but it's also I guess it's less common to see people that I guess grew up with it for sure.
But you
No,
also don't
absolutely.
see you don't also don't see like a lot of people who are into the hobby just as long, because whenever they started as a child, and like around like the time where they just grew up, they just grew out of it. So it's very rare to see somebody who's just been in the hobby like all their life and still is.
Yeah. I think I'm a man of like consistency. I think that's why, like, I also am very like, I guess, a huge
So
like plant guy.
is that why you consistently stop posting on Instagram?
You got me there. That's the one thing I'm inconsistent on. I'm sorry. You guys are like pointing out like the older I get, the worse I am at like social media and stuff. I'm just like I'm reaching my inner peace, So it's like, I,
Don't worry, you'll
I,
forget how to use the phone in like 2 years. It's
oh
okay.
no, I don't want to do that. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm definitely like a man of consistency. So, at least I come back to things, So,
Mhm.
um, for me, it was like uh, remembered Gundam, and believe it or not, like I don't know if you guys ever have this thing where like you're about to type something, you don't know exactly like what you're about to type, you kind of forget for a second, and your brain immediately tells you one thing. And my brain, for whatever reason, says Gundam almost exclusively when I'm like in that short section of I can't figure out what I want to write.
I think you're
So
addicted for sure. Yeah, this is you're
uh,
addicted.
This is a drug case.
yeah, if anything, it is something that's like, yeah, it's like my vice, but I have like moments where I'm really into buying it, moments where I'm really into building it, and then moments when I'm really into watching it. So I don't know how you guys do with that, but
But
it goes, like that for me.
I'm the same way
I think I'm really
because
into buying it right now
yeah,
and
no,
sending it
you
to
have a
Daniel.
problem. You have a fucking problem.
I
But
literally bought one today.
Oh man.
but yeah, I'm the same way with like you already where my dad like introduced me to the hobby, like the shows
Mhm.
and the toys. I grew up with the MSIA action figures, and then eventually moved on. Like I think when I was like I would say like 6 or 7, that's when I got into building like high grades because he would teach me how to do it. I think that was his method of like teaching me patience and all the principles of life. And so
Mhm.
like once I got older, I took a big break just because I didn't have access to it, but I came back and now I'm like, okay, well, this is a familiar thing, but now I can take it to the next level. I feel like having adult money and adult knowledge and motor skills, you're like, okay, now I can really
Mhm.
do things that I back then, you couldn't do.
Absolutely. And I think money is the biggest hindrance for people. I know you guys as like content creators probably get those messages that are like, "Hey, what's the best thing I could buy for $25?" Luckily, we live in a time where there are a lot of kits that are pretty good for 25 bucks. Since like The Witch of
Plenty.
Mercury came out,
Yeah.
entry grades, all that stuff. It's like you have more access to the hobby now, and let's be real, like more kids, I think nowadays have access to like $10 than they maybe we did when we were kids. And so it really does like kind of build that community a little bit more, where like somebody finds out um, about it. Well, social media like shows you everything now, so it's like if I like that, I'm gonna get it. master grades and perfect grades maybe aren't like the best for people to like get into it, but we definitely have like it's like I don't know, thousands of high grades now. So
Yeah.
um,
Compared to back then, like you have so many options. I don't think people realize like because for me it's like early 2000s. I'm like also guessing around the same time for you. Like back then, we did not have this many like options. And like think about it, like the Zaku 3 that you built, Jay, like that was a peak kit
That was
at the
horrible. That's what
time.
it is.
Like that is like back then building a model kit is like for the experience, but the finished product is probably not gonna be as good as they are now. So
yeah, I'll tell you what. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen like the old boxes of like the old Gundam like Leopard and some of these older like 1/100 like no grades, like the maybe Heavy Arms Custom
yeah,
came in like a
I had that one.
yes.
Yes.
So you remember like there would be like random comic book stores or model kit stores that you'd go into it and it would just be covered in dust because nobody had bought it. They just had it for years, you know. And so that
Oh,
was
we
my
can only
experience.
see those now. I would love to collect those now. I feel like those vintage figures are very nice.
Hmm. And you never know
Just
whether to
even,
build them, you know.
mhm,
They
yeah.
have like a charm to it. Like I just got like two high grade wing kits. They're made the same year I was born. So I'm like,
Mhm.
this thing is as old as I am, and like it's the same color and polycaps. Like the entire kit is blue with polycaps, but they have a charm to it, and I feel like it's something I want to like maybe do. I don't know. I'm like, if you get a vintage kit, would y'all just keep it in the box and kind of collect it, or would you build it?
Honestly, I'd say I keep it in the box. I know that like the RX, the first ever RX just got a re-release, but like the unpainted version, I bought that, and even with that, since it's like made from like a vintage kit, I'd prefer it to keep it in the box, just because like I wouldn't know what to do with it, and like I don't just the idea of having something like kind of old is more of like a sentiment than like something I collect per se. I don't even know if that makes sense, but it does for me.
No, no, definitely. I mean, there are things that I think a lot of people buy now that are like, oh, these are going to be limited quantity, you know, and so they never see the light of day, like they're in a box forever. And
Yeah.
so, like that happens a lot with like people that go to, like, say, I think this weekend is New York Comic Con, right? And so everybody gets exclusive everything, and by getting exclusive everything, you know that those things are going to be either on eBay in like 5 years' time, like for three times the price, and people are just going to keep it in a box forever. So
It's crazy
I
to
don't know.
think that like a witch from like the Caliburn from Witch from Mercury. Like we see that everywhere, right? Like you go to Hobby Lobby, there's 20 of them. But like eventually that's gonna be a vintage kit. Like
Hmm.
that's kind of crazy to think about. Because back then, all the wing no grades were like super easy to get. And then now it's like,
Oh no!
oh, technical
What happened?
difficulties.
Oh no, they set him to vertical.
What are we drinking?
Hmm, there
I,
we
I
go.
feel like every single episode will have a technical difficulty moment.
Honestly, we can keep it in. It's more authentic for the viewers. You know what I mean,
It's
guys?
it's raw, lack for better word.
Yeah.
God damn.
Okay.
Mm.
Anyways, I guess this kind of circles back to what we were just talking about of Jay
Mhm.
giving you shit about content creation. But how did you get into content creation? Like, what made you start? Probably the most beautiful Instagram page I've seen in my entire life. I'm gonna be honest with you. So,
Super
Thank
super
you.
underrated.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I mean, so if you go back to my page on Instagram, or oh god, no.
all right. So we're back with technical difficulties again. Anyways, resuming to our question. So, how did you start making content?
Uh, so it's kind of I don't know, embarrassing. If you go down, like maybe my Instagram was like the first thing I did. You go like really far down. You kind of see the beginnings of like where I started making my content. And it was just like no plants aesthetic. Really, it was just me and like my college apartment, which is super embarrassing because it's like the tiniest like little cramped area that I had, and I started getting like a little bit of money back then because I was an intern at like a engineering firm,
Mm.
and so I started making, I think back then I was making like $25 an hour or something. And so yeah, I was like, you know what? On the way home, I'm gonna stop at a hobby store and I'm gonna just check it out because like I haven't been to a hobby store in forever. And so I went, and the bug hit me. Like there was just so much new stuff. It'd been like maybe 3 or 4 years since I touched like a Gunpla kit. And the craziest part was that I started just like taking pictures of my progress because I saw like other people on Instagram doing the same thing. And it was super like cringe, I guess, back then that like I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. Like before having like the money to get the right tools and stuff, you end up spending like a lot of time doing things I think wrong. And that's just the nature of it. Like that's just how it goes. That's just what happens to you. So if you're watching this and you just started doing Gunpla, like don't feel bad about your content if it's a little bit rough. You'll figure it out eventually, and just kind of like follow the people that you like to watch, and eventually you'll get like a little bit of like a feeling of what your niche will be. So yeah, that's how I started. Basically, just high grades. Moved on to like master grades, and suddenly I had like the OCD thing where I started separating all my pieces, and it like slowly turned into, you know what, like I really like building Gunpla in the sunlight. Like
Mm.
building at night, I think for a lot of people is very like it's calming. It really is calming, just like in the dead of night, quiet. But there's something about it for me where you can just open a window and build with like the birds chirping, and like the wind actually like, hitting you in the face a little bit, and the plants rustling and all that. So yeah, that's what ended up turning my like content into what it is today. And I think like I found my niche, if that makes any sense.
I do have a confession to make. So,
Mhm.
I mentioned in the previous podcast that I started Instagram all because of Jay's content, because I saw him on my personal Instagram. There was a point where, like, soon after I found him, I found your account as well, and I was like, I love the aesthetic. So I started. If you also look at one of my earlier posts, they're all outside of my balcony because I wanted to have plants in the background, like the way you did.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I think you probably have a lot of influence because I think a lot of people, I guess, focus more on the kits and less about the environment, or at least
Mhm.
they try to make the environment clean. But I feel like you're in a unique scenario where I guess the plants and the environment and that view, that amazing view you have out your window, is like part of your content. I feel like.
Yeah, and I've had moments where like a kind of I've been overseas, either
Mm.
working or like on vacation, and I daydream about my setup, or I watch my own content shamelessly, just kind of daydreaming of home because I get homesick.
Bro,
Like
this guy's
I'm like,
licking his own booty hole, bro. That's crazy.
Jay.
and
No way. This guy's glazing himself, bro. That's crazy.
no, no, no. I do it mainly because I want to have like a taste of home. You know what I mean? And so sometimes like I think when I'm building something, especially on the setup that you guys all see, like behind you of like all my plants and this cutting mat, what ends up happening is that I'm like, what if I die one day and like the kit that I was building last just sits there, like they put all this stuff away, like my backlog remains where it is, and like no one's going to touch my room for like a year or whatever. It's going to be covered in dust. And I think the coolest thing was that like I realized that if I was like outside of my body and like came back and looked at my setup one more time, I'd get to feel alive one more time because it'd be like looking out the window at what I did all the time. And so I thought that was really, really cool. It's a little bit spooky, but yeah,
You see, with
it's for
all
me.
due respect, that's I know you see I know you're still kind of young, but now that you mention it kind of like in that wording, Man, you sound 80 years old. You sound
I am
so
not.
old.
I am not 80 years old. I think I'm an old soul. You know, like
Oh
I do
my
a lot
god,
of.
get this guy a 401k, dude.
I have
God.
one.
Do
No, like
you
I
would
got
you,
I got a mortgage. I got all that stuff. Like I bought the house. But what's funny is that like as you grow up, I think for a lot of us, like we end up wanting the things that we probably didn't have when we were kids.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
for me, that was like I need to own my house so that whatever I do in my room, like a landlord can't complain about it. Like nobody can tell me, hey, you can't put that shelf there. You can't put this there. You can't grow that there. And I think the coolest thing is that over time, as you guys see, like the background of my videos and my backyard and stuff, like trees will start showing up, like there'll be a garden and there'll be flowers and all that stuff. And you guys will kind of be able to like see the passage of not only like time, but of my life and the things that I do in my
It's
backyard,
a
which I think is really cool.
constantly evolving like background, which
Mhm.
isn't it hard though? Like having your natural sunlight be like your main source of light. I feel like it can't like
Um,
you have to film a specific time of day or
yeah, I will admit, like I do also build during the night. So when I'm off work or when, my wife goes to bed, like I sit here and I build stuff, just watching like whatever. I watch a lot of like movies when
the
I'm building
podcast.
things. So yeah, yeah, watching the podcast. If you guys are ever building, like definitely have the podcast on in the background. Shameless plug. Um, so it's definitely like it's not like I only build during the day, but there is something different about building like near a window, like getting yourself a little bit more sun. It helps. I think it like makes your day better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can definitely see it. I think
That's a
you're
huge tip.
yeah, you are
Hmm.
I was gonna add on
probably
to.
oh go
I was
ahead.
just gonna
Go
say,
ahead.
yeah, my bad, my bad. I was gonna say that's a huge tip for people like me, where they just like naturally just lack vitamin D. I feel
Hmm.
like I used to have my desk set up near my window, but for some reason I just decided to not do that anymore, and now I kind of regret it a little bit. And I feel like I should really like just take out like a picnic blanket one day and just build in the yard.
Can we do like an
Mm.
outdoors episode? You say-
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
we
that'd be
could definitely
cool.
do an outdoor episode.
yeah, like I'll go sit on the beach and just like
That'll be
record.
like Aldi's next episode. We'll just do an
Yeah,
outdoor.
yeah.
Just
We'll do the next one, but all of us are outside. Like
I don't know what
yeah.
you guys' budget is like. You can fly here. We'll build in my backyard. I got the picnic
ooh,
Dude,
table
my
and everything. It'll
budget
be nice.
is like a whole Big Mac. That's literally all I have.
okay. Well,
That's all I have left.
I'll take that
That's still
offer.
like $15, I think, right?
That I'll fly us there. It's fine. I'll pick you up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
See. Yeah, the offer stands. Podcast at my house.
Okay. That would be a great RL podcast to do,
Mhm.
especially is your entire house decorated like with plants or is it just your room?
Yes. Yes. No, it is my house. So my house, I think like sometimes, when like you've been say at like an area for too long and the air feels kind of dense.
Yeah.
And so like you end up going like, "Ah, dude, I need to go outside and get some air." My house has so many plants in it that like sometimes when it's like really humid out and I go into my house, the air quality, it feels amazing.
Oh.
So I really have to give that to, that point towards the plants because they really do like I feel like everyone should have a couple of plants in their house just for like, you know, like air, you know what I mean? So
Do you
You see,
oh, go ahead.
okay. I was gonna say, you see, I would love to have plants. And I do have one in the back, and a lot of my plants, they kind of resemble me as a person. They're fake. So, maybe one day. I do feel the air being super dense around me though, because I don't
That's
leave
because
my
you
room.
smell. But the problem is, I don't know if you can keep a plant alive. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, like I don't know. Um, I would not trust you even with a cactus. I'm gonna be honest. So like,
I
maybe
can like legit take care of like a USB cord.
oh, that,
Barely.
that that works.
I'll
Just paint it green, you'll be fine.
how did the
Yeah.
plant collection, I guess, or obsession, I guess, at this point start?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's an obsession in like a healthy way. Really, when like people are starting to like give away plants and they're like, does anybody want this plant? Like, I don't want to take care of it anymore. Um, I feel like, I'm not going to get too cheesy here. My grandmother died maybe like during COVID. Unfortunately,
Okay.
she like got, um, what is it called? She didn't exactly get COVID. She got like pneumonia. It was like really, really cold out. And she was like in her 90s, right? So she was very vulnerable to all that kind of stuff. And she passed away. And afterwards is when I guess I started picking up plants and people started gifting them to me, being like, hey, like, I got you this little like plant. And I would just kind of like water it once a week. Like I did my Googling, watered it once a week. People were like, don't water it too much. And I didn't know what that meant. And suddenly, my plants were just huge. Um, and my grandmother, she would grow plants a lot. Like when I would go to her house, she had like lime trees and like lemon trees and apple trees and all this kind of stuff. And really, what it turned into was I think I inherited like a green thumb from her when she passed away,
Mm,
or at least that's like superstitiously, right? Um, and so all of my plants started growing. And so uh, putting them by a window is obviously like great. Like we can dumb it down to science and be like, it's just like the sun and the water and all this kind of stuff. But I feel like take care of your plants, like make them a part of your daily routine and like actually care for them. And I think you can find yourself like having a hobby that isn't as intense as Gunpla is.
mm-hmm.
And really like have like a little space. Like don't go as crazy as I did because then you'll regret your choices. Plants are not cheap, especially
No.
some of the better looking ones. The dirt is not cheap, like all the stuff you need to buy for them is not cheap. Um, and they're honestly something that you could end up spending like $50 on and it'll die. You keep Gunpla, you cannot keep something that dies. And slowly but surely, I ended up getting like a money tree, a monstera plant, a couple of these philodendrons, which are the hanging plants that you see behind me. And if you look at my videos on Instagram or on TikTok, you'll see that they're very small. They're like go back a year, they're very small, and as the time goes by, as like the seasons change, they grow. They're huge, and I forget how long I've had some of them for. Some of them I've had for anywhere from like 5 years to a year. And really, it turns into like that consistency made them huge, and now quite honestly, like I have to move some of them out of the room. As you can see, like behind me here, you see how these are like starting to kind of just like
Yeah.
move towards the room. That happens, and I have to like grab them. I have to cut them down. I put them in other pots. They grow, and then suddenly you have 5 plants from one plant that you bought for $30, like at a farmer's market, uh, 3 years ago. So it happens. And just for those listening, I don't want to discourage you from getting plants, but before you get them, do your research. Go ahead and if you want to take care of a plant and you think you can do it, like don't be discouraged. Like plants can die, it happens. But don't go out and buy, you know, 15 plants trying to get something like this, because it does take time, and you don't want to just like buy some things and immediately kill them.
I would
So.
say plants is almost kind of like Gunpla, where like you can easily get into it, but it skills that you master over time. You don't buy a perfect game from the beginning. You kind of want to start easy and then learn the process of building, which is I guess the process of maintaining it. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna kill some plants. You're gonna kill some kids. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. We
like
all have that one kit that we bought and we were like, this kit looks super badass and I'm gonna weather it. And then you weather the hell out of it.
oh
And by the time you're done, it looks like, a kit that was like completely solid white is now brown. And so you look back on it and you're like, oh my God, I did that. I gotta like, and that then that comes like as the redemption. Like you're like, oh, I sucked back then. That was 3-4 years ago. I got to do it again. And so you end up buying the same kit again to redeem yourself, you know?
You think I think you literally just described what happened with me and my Master Grade Justice Gundam. It's literally like I got it whenever I just got back into Gunpla as an adult. I weathered the shit out of it. Like it turned from red to like shit stained brown. And then I had to get another one like literally a year after just to redo it. I just
Just to
couldn't
prove
look
to
at it.
yourself.
It's like a fucking like dookie stain on my wall.
But I
Yep.
mean,
But
it is
anyways,
part of the process. I mean, I was gonna ask, like, out of all the skills in Gunpla, what skill do you think you've improved the most so
Oh
far?
man. God, that's a good question. I think my biggest skill is being able to have the patience to get rid of nub marks on the solid plastic without you noticing them at all. I take a lot of time to kind of like, and because I don't have like crazy amounts of time to go through my backlog, these doors that you see behind me are basically like the closet where I have like 60, 70 unbuilt kits.
Wow.
And I always bought
excuse
them
me, you
because,
said 70?
yeah, 60 or 70 unbuilt kits
Wow.
in that closet.
See, look at that. We found somebody that has more than me. First guest
But
episode. Look at that. You see?
Yeah,
I
but
should
he
have brought
he-
some of them out.
he has a solid excuse. He's a married man. What are you?
See, I don't need excuses. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, anyway.
There's no excuse. Keep going.
No, but so don't think that I just went out and bought 70 kits one day, because that's like literally thousands of dollars. I over the years I accumulated them, and I wish I'd brought some of them out, because honestly, some of the kits that I have in my closet, and Jacob, you can kind of like attest to this. I've shown you them before. Are still Red
Sure.
Label Bandai,
Mm.
and Red Label Bandai, I think, like stopped being printed in like in 2019, 2018. I can't remember.
Literally the
Uh,
1800s.
It was
Yeah, it's been a while.
it was pre-COVID. It was pre-COVID.
Yes, and so I had the Master Grade Justice 2.0 with the Kira Yamato like head sculpt,
Yeah.
which you could see on my Instagram. That a fellow content creator bullied me into building. He was like, "Dude, that's been in your backlog for 7 years," and I was like, "That's crazy." You know, that's like I could have had a kid and he would have been going to school by the time that I built this.
That
So
is
um,
wild. Yeah.
That's literally how I feel about my backlog, to be fair.
mhm. And you got to admit, like I'm sure you have kits in there that you bought like 2-3 years ago that you just never got around to. You know, it happens. And that was it for me. I still have, I think the real grade Sinanju is
Oh,
Red Label for me.
that's old. Yeah, that's old.
I have
I ain't getting built.
the I have the actually I have them right here. I'll pull them down right quick. For those of you that will understand the struggle of having old kits. This is the
the OG Origins Zaku.
sorry, the Thunderbolt Zaku 2, right?
Oh.
And so it's Red Label Bandai. And I have it as a display on one of my shelves.
You wanna know what's even crazier about that kit you just pulled down?
Mm.
So, you know, okay, so I explained this in like the first episode how I used to build kits as like a 12 or like an 11-year-old.
Mhm.
That kit that you have right there is the second ever release of the high grade Psycho Zaku. There was another kit that has the anime not the anime,
Comic.
the manga box
Yeah.
art on it, and I still have
Oh.
that box. It's under my bed right now.
Is it still Red Label from how old it was?
I'm pretty sure because it's
Yeah.
from like 2012. I don't know what happened to the kit. It's just I only have the box, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is one of my
I
kits.
yeah, for sure.
How big do you think your collection is? Built and unbuilt. You said 70 in the backlog.
70 in the backlog, and about I think I counted it the other day. On my shelves and just around my room, I probably have and in boxes already built back there. I just have storage boxes. I'd say I have, I think, another 100
Ooh,
kits. Yeah.
it's an impressive
Yeah.
collection. I guess at one point you're gonna have to do a collection video. I feel like people would.
Yeah. I mean, I've
Been
been
bugging
getting
about it for like years.
room tour videos is the biggest thing that people bully me about. They're like, when are we going to see your room? And for me, it's kind of like soon my room isn't finished. And it's like, will my room ever be finished? How long will I have these people waiting?
Yeah.
So it is a little bit of
Maybe
like,
all the people that are watching, please bully him in the comments to make him post a room tour video. Help
Dude,
us
by the
out.
time your room is done, I'd probably moved on to like my third kid.
Are you
If I'm
planning
being
on
I
having
hope
genuine with
not.
you.
kids?
I'll be really old then, and it'll be past my bedtime to do the podcast.
Yeah. You're probably gonna spend like all day just watering your plant. Like by the time you start at like 8 a.m., like whenever you're
Yeah,
done, it'll be like 8 p.m.
definitely gonna be hunched over with the hands behind the back, like walking around my house kind of man.
Oh, what else is new?
Okay.
I'm working on the hunchback already, dude. So
How long do you think it takes usually for like a high grade, let's say, for you to like start the kit and finish it? Like,
if I'm taking like evenings after work to build it, I'd say I could get a high grade done in maybe like 2 days, 3 days.
okay.
When I'm like really consistent. I've never like I don't sit down and build a kit in a full day anymore. I think the last time I did it was the master grade Altron that I did before I went on my wedding because I was just like, I need something to kind of like milestone my life in Gunpla along with my wedding.
Right.
And I was like, what kit could that be? And it was the P Bandai master grade Altron Gundam. I love the way that kit looks. It is gorgeous. It is green. And so in my setup, it looks, astonishing,
It
I think.
fits your aesthetic perfectly. It is.
Yeah.
I couldn't have asked for a better one.
hmm and so for me, now that'll be like the kit. I think I made a video not too long ago about the memories that I have with my kids. And so this master grade Altron literally for me is like, I think that best moment of my life. I was just about to get married. It has a very good like memory attached to it. I'll always have it. That kind of thing.
Do you customize
You
your
s-
kits or? Oh, sorry.
Oof. Yeah. So, sorry, Jacob. Were you trying to say something?
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Keep going.
All right. Here we go. Customizing kits, right? So, I have customized kits in the past. I actually brought two out here that are like one of my oldest kits. Um, and one of them is like a good example of like a decent looking custom. The other one is like one that I was first trying to do like hidden panels on and a couple of like panel lining things. Did not end up that good. But it is also one of my oldest kits. And that is this guy right here. For those of you who I'm really sorry, this is one of the coolest kits ever made. This is the master grade Shadow Gundam or Gundam Spiegel from Neo Germany from G Gundam. This is, as you could see, like it has a bunch of like little holes in it in the knees. You can kind of see the light through it right here.
Mm,
The leg parts have like little squares of plot plate that I added to them
okay.
because he started falling apart. So I rebuilt him, I repainted him. I drilled out some of the holes in his chest that we can kind of see here, right there. Just trying to add a little bit more detail to this kit. And unfortunately, it wasn't the best. It was like a really humid day. So you guys can't tell on camera, but this guy has like a sandpaper texture.
They're
Um,
frosted.
Oh,
yeah,
data
it
frost.
frosted. Yeah. And so because of how humid it was that day, the primer didn't lay well, the paint didn't lay well. But he is also one of my oldest kits. This kit was given to me by like my high school girlfriend when I was like
Wow.
15 years old.
The fact that you
Um,
still keep that is crazy.
yeah.
I'm just
Well,
saying. No, I'm just saying everything goes after a relationship. I'm so sorry.
that's
If she
true.
giving me a new liver, bro, that shit goes. No,
I don't
no,
know.
that
I
shit goes.
I'd probably keep that liver, but I kept this mainly
Better man
because
than me.
I left. Well, granted, for me, I went to college. I left them with my family members, and they found an attic. They were just up in an attic, and he was like, "Hey, you ever want your robots back?" And I was
Oh,
like, "My robots?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want those back." And so this was one of them. And believe it or not, it is one of my oldest kits. It is also the first like this Shadow Gundam was like the first Gundam kit my mom ever bought me. So we went to
Wow.
Toys R Us back on that day, and she bought it for me. And I was like, "Dude, Shadow Gundam is sick." I mean, he's got
wait, you
the
would still
hidden
go to
blade.
Toys R Us at like? You would still go to Toys R Us in high school?
No, no, no. This was like what I'm trying to say is that I bought. So I got this guy from my then girlfriend in high school, right? But my mom had bought me the 1144 no grade version
Okay.
that came out with G Gundam. So like, I don't know if you've built any of those like 1144 G Gundam kits, but they are like
Mhm.
they're kind of atrocious. You know, they like
One
are horrible to
color,
build.
like 4 polycaps for the entire thing, like no color
Exactly,
separation. Yeah.
exactly. And so I had this guy, and I was like, this guy is like peak G Gundam to me. Like everybody loves the what is it, the God Gundam, but for me, it was this guy, and mainly because I found it so funny that if for those of you who have seen G Gundam, the character who pilots this mobile suit is called Schwartz Bruder, and he is technically Domon Kashu's brother, but he doesn't know it because he's under a mask. And Schwarzbruder in German means like dark brother. So, so unless you know, yeah.
Yo.
So unless you know like the backstory or why Domon's doing what he's doing in G Gundam, you don't really get it if you don't know German. Um, so he was always a really cool character to me, and I love him. He is one of my favorite Gundams. I think there are many like characters in G Gundam that would have been put in the dirt had they not nerfed this guy. So one of my favorites for sure.
Great. I mean, yeah, I feel like every kit you own has like an amazing backstory to it, which I feel like, you know, not a lot of people have. So this is
Mhm.
like I'm just like in awe just listening to this. Like this is
Thank you,
crazy.
Dude,
thank you.
he's fanboying, bro. You have no idea. He's fanboying
I mean,
so
it
hard
is
right now.
okay. Yeah. So I guess this kind of also correlates to the next question is I'm gonna ask you how you guys ended up meeting. But for
Mm,
me, I'm very new to I guess this Gunpla space. This is the first time me and Aldi talk. Like we've
mhm.
never really interacted before. I know you guys have. That's why I'm probably asking a lot more questions because
Mhm.
from the attitude, Jay doesn't give a fuck, but rude.
Yeah.
But
Feel free to stop me. I will talk your ear off about Gundam, like I know most of us on the podcast would. And really, it just turned from like I had never thought of Gunpla as being like the the kind of space where like people went out and used the articulation to like
mm,
the maximum, you know, and made a video purely on the articulation. Because a lot of people, you know, growing up were like, you built a piece of like of a model kit, or you built Gunpla, and it's like they are too fragile. They have to sit on the shelf. They
they're a
have to
statue.
sit on the shelf. Exactly. And you know, Asnable changed the whole thing. I feel like that is really cool, like thing to have, like you know, as like a title to be like, this is the guy who like solidified doing that kind of thing. And so I reached out to him and I was like, hey, dude, I really dig like the kits. I'd love to pick your brain on like how you did this or did that and like what you like. If you'd ever like to build with me, like I'm not really like huge in the community, but it'd be awesome for me to like be able to share my knowledge with you, for you to share your knowledge with me, and just kind of like chill out, you know. And after that, we kind of just like started hanging out a little bit. And I kind of did the same thing with a couple of other people that I was really interested with, you know. So it was a really cool time to just kind of like hang out together, build some kits, talk, you know, some trash, and just, you know, have a good time.
Yeah, it's great to see you guys. I mean, I feel like for someone who's like just starting off making content, like both of you guys are kind of like hard to miss. You know what I mean? It's probably one of the first things you see when you make Gunpla content. So, like, it's crazy to see, and also crazy to be here talking to you guys about it. So,
Thank you,
um,
thank you.
do you have any
It's
plan?
alright.
Okay. Do you have
It's
a,
alright. Yeah.
do you have
He's feeling
any?
himself right now. He's
I
like,
know,
this
I
guy is
know,
glazing me right now.
I know. It's so annoying. But do you have any content you have planned for the future? I guess that we can expect.
Yes, I guess I made a video of it like 2 years ago. So I bought all of the kits and I waited for the, what is it? I guess after Colony kits to come out. So everything from like the Wing Gundam to like uh what was the last one that released? It was probably the like Gundam like Shenlong, right? So the first five from Gundam Wing. And I always told myself, I'm gonna get all five of them and I'm gonna build all of them like in a week or do like a section where I build all of them, put them all together like as best I can. Maybe not paint them, but like talk about them, make like little segments on like the anime that were like my favorite moments for them,
Mm.
and then I'm gonna post them, you know, in my setup. Um, and I just never did that, and I hate myself for it because those kits are still sitting like back there in the closet. And I just like most of us, like you get the kit and you're like, what's next? What's next? And you buy the next thing, and suddenly you kind of like don't have time to build, and they just sit there. So I'd really like to get back to that. I really want to build this aerial because I think the colors of Gundams look really good against green. Like the yellow, the blue, the red, and the white just like stick out incredibly well against like a green background, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So once I build the aerial, I'd really like to get to doing all of those like Wing Gundam kits, so that Jacob can then tell me that I'm old and only like Gundam Wing when it's like
Well,
been on my mind for so long.
you have 2 months
But this
because
is crazy. This is like a 2v1 because you're not the only one who likes Gundam Wing here.
I am
Oh, I see.
currently working on having the entire Endless Walls collection in Master Grade. And
Oh, I
you
see.
mentioned it, but
Freaking loser.
the shut up. The Ultron is the only thing that I'm missing. Is
Oh well,
usually,
he pops up on P Bandai maybe like once a year,
yeah, it's
and P Bandai, as we all know, is like, you know, it is crack. Like already, you know, all these Gunpla are crack, but P Bandai, once you have a credit card and have to wait 3 months for
yeah.
a kit to come in, is another beast. So if you guys on the podcast or use listeners um, can refrain from actually buying P Bandai, do so. It will ruin your life. You can
I
spend
agree.
all your money and then not even get like immediate return. You'll have to wait half a year or, you know, a full year sometimes for these kits to show up.
I have a rule with my shopping, which is if I don't see it in person or someone can't give it to me like right then and there, I don't buy it. It's just not meant to be.
Mhm.
That's it. And that's the
Yeah.
thing with every other Endless Walls Master Grade that are P Band or whatnot. I've been able to get it with no problem. It's just the Ultron that I'm stuck on. But hopefully. But yeah, I am also
He came
collecting
out
Wing.
a couple months ago, right? Like he was on P Bandai a couple months ago.
It was
Um,
a month before I started this collection. I missed it.
wow.
Freaking loser. Oh my
You
goodness.
shut up. You don't
If
like Wing.
Horrible timing. That's what I'm saying. Horrible timing. My problem is that if it has an add to cart button, best believe I'm buying that shit. If it's available, I'm buying that shit. Why do you think I'm broke right now? I just be training my hands just to click on the checkout.
that is one thing I think I will refrain from telling people, like on the page, is people ask me like, what do you have in your backlog? And there are kits out there that I'm like, I'm not going to tell you about that. But the P
You got a
Bandai, I think, is one
gatekeeper
of the
here.
coolest. I was like, no, it's not about gatekeeping. I think it's about like wanting it to be a surprise, you know, like kits that people don't see very often, like the Master Grade Tall Geese 3 or the Tall Geese 2,
Yes.
or even like, I don't know, like the other versions of the Musha Gundams, you know, like you don't see those very often. You see the red one, pretty often.
There's the blue one, and then there's I think like a silver one, or like there's a couple of different variations. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I got, and I'll only do this here because I think I actually posted it. I got it for my birthday. Was the Tokugawa Ieyasu version of the Mark II, which is a, like, if you want to Google it, you can. It is basically like a solid black armor Gundam Mark II in samurai armor. And it looks amazing. Maybe Google it after the pod or something, but it is an amazing kit, and I really look forward to adding it to my Gunpla Samurai collection.
We're looking forward to seeing it when you get to building it. Can't wait. And then I guess I'll ask you one last question before we go on to the other segments. This is actually for both of you guys. What advice do you have for new creators?
Let me think. Jacob, you want to go first?
Oh, me? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I feel like I keep reiterating this point to like people on DMs or people who just ask me in Q&As and stuff like that. I feel like if you want to be a Gunpla creator, you just have to put in the work. Like you just have to keep showing up, and you just have to keep consistently building kits, posting them, no matter if the content is ass or if the content is not up to your standard. You still have to post something. And I feel like that goes hand in hand in just social media in general. If you want to make it into like social media, you just have to keep showing up day in and day out. You just have to keep doing it repetitively, because like you can post 100 videos and be like, oh, this is a lot of videos, but in reality that's 100 chance that you could get noticed by everybody else. So every single video I put out, no matter if it's doing good or not, it's still another chance for me to get noticed later on in the future. So I feel like to everyone who has been like struggling on finding how like they can grow as a creator, I just have to say, like, you just have to keep going. You just have to keep pushing it until you're really sick of it. Just keep doing it, because you honestly don't know whenever you're gonna get tired, and you obviously have a lot more strength than you think you do. But yeah.
I think I agree with that. I think there are people who like they give up last second. I've been one of those people that like have been like, oh man, I'm just posting and like I'm not doing well. And then you kind of post something that you're not really too thrilled about, and it does amazing, you know? Or you're like really close to just kind of giving up on posting in general. And you post something that you don't expect to do well, and it does. I think consistency, like you said, is really important. I think one of my best videos I've posted was like I was just posting my typical video of like the Shao doll from like Gundam Age, and it was green. It was like a bright neon and white GM basically, and and I posted it, and I was like, people aren't going to care about this, and they loved it. I mean, it was like thousands of views for no
but the
reason.
thing that pisses me off is that it's always on the video that you care less about. Like I can pull a video up in like 10 seconds and it would just have like 1 million views, than me spending like 6 hours on a video and getting like 100.
You know, it's also
It's
like the SNA Tristan that like you found me from. I hated that kid. Like I was like, I don't like how this turned out, and then and then he noticed me from that kid. It's
this boy is fucking crazy, bro. That Tristan kid is amazing.
Anyways,
I think we're all our worst critic, you know.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's like, and you don't realize how good you're getting at like doing something until you've done it a bajillion times and you're sick and tired of it. You know what I mean? Like, there are so many instances where like you could build something and you're like, dude, I bought this thing, I didn't really care for it, but I'm gonna build it and get it out of the way so that it's content. And then you post it and you don't really care about it, and then everybody loves it. They're like, that is the best kit ever. Like, where do I get this? And you're like, what's wrong with you people?
I heard from another creator that like in order for you to find success faster, is you just have to move on to the next project as soon as you're done with your current one. Like the less amount of attention you give your current project whenever it's done, the more it's gonna kill you inside. So, or like the more it's gonna like help you just realize your success right afterwards. Because I can, for example, I can post a video and just obsessed about that video for the next 2 days and seeing the views not really growing and destroying myself inside, or I can choose to just move on to the next video, just leave that one in the shadows, just to let it do its own thing. And then like I find that to be so true because like whenever I it might just be karma, but whenever I feel like I give less of a fuck about like what I'm posting, it's the more views I get.
Yep.
Which is like it could be like I don't know, like the law of attraction, something like that. But whenever I start out, I just plainly make videos for myself. Like literally I just wanted to make cool edit of posing of like nice storylines I would want to do with Gundams and stuff like that. All I did was that, and I just kept posting just because I wanted to just look back at it one day, and I start gaining a follower out of it. And then like later on, whenever I start getting views, I start caring more about the numbers. I get less views, and I notice that, and I wish I didn't now. But honestly, if somebody who is just starting out in the hobby and starting out making content, I feel like the less of a fuck you give about your content, the better it's gonna do. It sounds
No.
super counterintuitive, but it's so
It's
true.
it's more like just post, just get it out there,
Yeah.
and like
Yep.
do more. I feel like in the beginning I had that issue where I was trying to chase perfection or like get my quality to a certain level, even though I was so new to this hobby, or at least like the content side of it. And so I'll just get like, I don't like how this looks, I'm not gonna post it. But eventually
Mhm.
I was like, I'm just gonna post it because eventually maybe it'll get to the point that I like, you know what I mean? So
Yep. Yep.
that's
I
definitely.
also think just in this community right now, we're getting like a surge of people who are using like professional cameras,
Mm,
And so I'm not saying like deter yourself from doing content or go out and buy a camera because
yeah.
I sure as hell didn't. Everything that I have is shot on an iPhone 16 Pro Max. And sometimes like these apps will like compress anything. So don't feel bad if your like quality isn't as great as you want it to be. Just do what you can with what you have, and just kind of like learn the system of an app. So that for me, for example, like when I post on cloudy days, the quality isn't as good. But
Mm,
suddenly I'll post on a really sunny day where the just like my kid isn't covered in sunlight, and it is the best quality video, and people are like, is this TikTok premium or something? And
It's
it's
AI.
like it's literally just the lighting, and so don't feel bad if what you post isn't like as high quality as some of these people who have thousands of dollars in camera equipment that like post their updates on Instagram. Don't let that discourage you. Just keep posting, and hopefully this is a wake up call for myself, because I feel like I'm one of those like bands that like you wouldn't know him. Like people are like, oh, that's my favorite content creator or something, and it's like
You're an indie
nobody knows
Gunpla
him.
creator, bro.
Yeah,
You're an indie
basically, I
Gunpla
I
creator.
I don't know what happened. I think it's my pacing. I think it's how my videos are like in contrast, way different sometimes. So most people like you get a lot of like action gunpla and stuff, and you can
mm-hmm.
like feed into that. I am the other spectrum. I am like very much just like monopose sometimes with very calming music, and that's not everybody's thing. Like I feel like social media nowadays is like very quick paced, very like what's out there, what's like really cool, and a lot of that is posing. Like posing takes technique. It takes a lot of experience to pull off, and there are times where I make those kind of like slideshow posts, but I am nowhere near as like talented as people like Asnable, or like Jake is dead, who have just been able to successfully pose all of these figures. Maybe that's just practice, but we can all get there somehow. So don't let that stop you.
I would say like when I see your post on my feed, it's like a breath of fresh air. Like, oof. You know what I mean? Like because we see all these fast paced action, like you know what I mean, and then like seeing your like that's why I think that it's like unique in a way for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess those are all the advice that you two guys can give to new content creators. And so we're gonna move on to a new segment that we're bringing onto the podcast, which will only happen whenever we have a guest. It's called Jay versus the guest, where
Oh
I'm gonna be
no.
asking 2 to 3 Gunpla related questions, and we'll keep scores. And maybe by the end of season 1, we'll see who ends up winning. I had no doubt in my mind that Jay's not gonna win, but we're gonna give it a shot anyways. So I should have probably told you guys to get a whiteboard, but just say it if you know it. Whoever gets it first, and then if not, you guys will have like 2 tries. Okay. So the first question is, what is the serial number for Bandai's apparently favorite design, the Unicorn Gundam?
Oh, what is the number on that one? Is it
Oh my god. Oh my
0079?
god. No, it's like it's like
It's
fuck, it's like
RX00?
RX001.
I want y'all to lock in your answers.
That's mine.
Oh god.
Is it RX001? Is that what you said?
I literally just did the review for this kit, like literally
I think it's
2
RX
weeks ago.
0. Like, can I do that? Could that be
No,
my answer?
it's
RX 0?
001.
Okay, so Jay is saying 001 and Alde saying 0.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the correct answer is RX0. Nice, 1 point.
Yeah.
God damn it! I literally did the review for this one. Oh my goodness.
All right, so we're 0 to 1. All right, the next question. We are all waiting for the release of the expensive ass Perfect Grade Unleashed new Gundam that's coming out next year. I think it's like $800 or something. So this kit is releasing to celebrate how many years of Gunpla?
50.
Oh, yeah, I was
Lock
gonna
in.
say it's probably 50. He answered first
50.
though.
Okay, Jay's answer is 50. I'll let you also.
Yeah, I'd have to say
Gundam or
it's probably from
Gunpla?
the
Gundam or
Gunpla.
Gunpla?
Gunpla.
No, I think he's right. Maybe it's. I'm just gonna say 45 for the sake of that.
Okay, well,
No,
Alde's correct. It is 45.
What
No
the
way. I was like, my brain was like mid 80s maybe. So that'd be like somewhere around there. No, I guess that would be 80s, right? So Gundam came out in what, 70, 78, 79? And so the first kit probably came out in 1980. So it'd be 45 years of Gunpla.
God, bro.
I would say you're kind of screwed because the next question was, when did the original Mobile Suit Gundam come out? What year?
It's one of those. I don't know exactly. I'm going to say 78, 1978.
1979.
Okay, Jay got it correct. It is 79. So it is 1.
It's literally in the universe name 0079.
Oh, you're right.
All right. Well,
See, okay, that one is easy for me because I love the original Mobile Suit Gundam. Like I love that show.
So yeah,
no, that's a good point. My favorite Gundam show is G Gundams, and that came out in like 95. So
G Gundam over Gundam Wing?
For me, nostalgically, yes. I think I enjoyed as like a story. I think I liked what G Gundam had more, the story of like a brother being like a revenge story rather than a guy who like has a mission, he wants to complete it, but every time he finishes a section of that mission, he tries to kill himself. Is like, I don't know. I like the means to an end kind of story, even though I know G Gundam's like not as popular in the Gundam community.
Okay. I mean, a couple of P-Bandai kits coming out and a lot of random rear kits coming out. So, there is some love. And the real which just came out. But
yep, that's true.
Okay. And then we'll move on to the final segment, which is the Q&A for the week. We usually post a Q&A like poll up on Instagram. So we took 3 questions. And the first one is from Ignition Build, which is, what is the best and worst kit you've worked on? So, Vznable, you want to start it off?
Yeah, I think okay, so the best kit I've ever built was definitely the RG High New Gundam. I built that all in one day. I don't know why, but every single time I like handle it or like I use it for a shoot or something like that, it just gives me like nothing but joy. And like it's a super nicely built, super quality kit that I don't know, I just love it so much. And obviously you can get a better bang for your buck somewhere else, but I think that is like the pinnacle of Gunpla. And it just shows everything that the RG line can be and how it should be since the very beginning. I just love that kit so much. And the worst kit, I'd have to say, it's tied between the high grade Ogre Jinx from Gundam Build Fighters. It's a very niche kit. It's not very widely known, but thank God it's not because it's horrible. Um, and probably the RG Zeta Gundam.
Mm.
Ooh.
I don't even want to say nothing about that Gundam.
Yeah,
I have nothing good to
enough
say.
has been said about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Are we allowed multiples? Are we allowed to
Yeah,
do like
sure. Yeah,
one
go
or
ahead.
two? Oh God.
Yeah. Go
Um,
for it.
for my best, I actually have it right here. It says, regardless of what people say about age, the Master Grade Gundam Age is such a good kit. I think it was like built in 2011 or 2012, but basically it was a kit that like changed Gunpla for me. I built this kit and realized it was like leagues above anything else that I'd built. It was really, really good. Um, the other kit that I think I really enjoyed, kind of strange to say, is the high grade Sazabi. The high grade Sazabi
Ooh.
has like perfect proportions and is like it feels really like anime accurate, if that makes any sense. Like,
Mhm.
I think I got Jacob to buy it, and I was like, dude, trust me, it is a great feeling kit. And he somehow managed to pose that thing, even though it didn't have like great articulation, and made it look really good. But that's probably one of those kits that I was like expecting the worst at, 'cause it was so old, and was like really pleasantly surprised when I built it.
Yeah,
And
it's a really nice kit.
the worst
And
kit?
for the worst kits I built, um, I think I'd have to say the Master Grade God Gundam, the first one that I built, the one that you had to put
Mm.
like screws into.
Ah.
I just hated the proportions on that kit. It did not feel like the real grade, which is like it has great proportions. It looks very like menacing. That Master Grade one was just like lanky, cartoony. Did not enjoy that kit really much at all. Um, and the other kit that I really just like did not enjoy building had to have been the what is it? The high grade like Zaku one, I think, like the early Zaku's.
Mm.
I don't know what it was about those. Like they have the mono eye, but they don't have like the Zaku look with the, the little like tubes and everything. And it just felt really, really small to me. So I'm not saying I hate the Zaku one, but the early Zaku one kits was not it for me. I think they lacked a lot of work, but they were also old. So
Yeah.
those are them for me.
I'd say as a painter, for sure, the Master Grade Wing Zero Verka. I'll die on this hill. Just a great canvas to work with. And
Mhm.
then worst, the RE12100 Rebawu, which I actually sent to Jay. That thing feels so hollow. Like there is no like stabilization on that kit. But that's just what the RE 1 scale suffers from. And then
The P Bandai one, right?
yeah, the P band I one.
Yeah, I agree with those. The
I
ankles are so weak on those kids.
yeah,
They like fall over all the time.
they're heavy
You guys just
and
don't know ball.
and
Just wait,
then
I'll pose it. I'll pose it. Just
good
wait.
luck posting that thing. Yeah, that thing. I was like,
Uh,
I sent it to you because I did not want to touch it. And then the
you just
RG
made my
XCR.
next content.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Well, this is crazy because Aldi swears up and down on the RGXia. Like he loves that thing.
I do. I do really like the RGXia. I think the detail is really good on that Exia, especially if you like. I don't know if it's like bare plastic and you kind of top coat it, which I
Mm,
know like some people don't do. But like if you top coat just a bare plastic RGXia, it like makes the joints so much more like sturdy. And it's like a great kit to just have. I think it looks good, the proportions are right, and it's like a really good example of an early real grade.
I think you just got a good batch. That's all I'm saying.
It's possible, yeah. Probably did
Yeah,
get
like
one with no QA issues.
when I built it, like I feel
Okay.
like scared to just destroy it. But anyways, the next question is from Angie the funny guy, and it
Mhm.
is, what's your favorite mobile suit?
Ooh, I swear to God, if you say the tequila Gundam, I'm hanging up this call.
No. Do I go first? Do I go first this time?
Yeah. Go for it.
Favorite mobile suit? Oh God. I really like the Alex. I think that's one of the best ones.
Ooh, yes,
The
sir.
Alex is a good looking Gundam. Wing Zero. I think for me, Wing Zero is probably the best looking Gundam. I think that real grade, I haven't gotten it yet. It
We are
just looks
all
amazing.
waiting. We are all
It's
waiting.
just like amazing looking kit. I'm jealous of those who already have it, and I look forward to building that.
I think for my end, I just love anything like very old UC. Like I just love I came around to liking the Zaku one. I used to hate that thing. Also with like the aquatic suit, like I really like those very old UC suits. But ultimately, I think I would probably choose the Sazabi or just Zaku 2 in general. It's just super classic, and I just like those both of the designs so much I can't really choose, but I would choose between those two.
Solid choices. Mine's Death Side. I think we all know this, but yeah.
Death
uh,
Scythe or Death Scythe Hell?
Death Side Hell. Death Side Hell for
And are
sure.
we talking about the Endless Waltz
Endless
version of Death
Death
Scythe?
Side Hell, Endless Walls version. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
so since we're talking about the Death Scythe here, I haven't really posted on social media anything about it, but I've been working on like a kit bash of the Death Scythe Hell, like the HG version. Maybe it's the right time to show it on the pod.
Okay.
I feel like Daniel would like this a lot. And here it is, right here. Look at that guy.
Oh, it's Death Side Heaven. Oh my God.
That's literally
Oh,
it. What do
that's
you guys
sick.
think?
I
Yeah,
like it.
man.
Yeah, we fuck with
Yeah.
it.
I fuck with
Can
it.
we talk about and quickly just like talk about how awesome it is that they made those two kits a regular release, both the Death
No.
Scythe Hell and Altron. Two
Dude,
like
it's a
I think really
blessing.
good kits. Like I think they need to do that more. I think it'd be great for the community for people to do that because I think even in our group chat that we had where somebody was like, "Oh, I built this kit from P Bandai," and they're like, "What the hell is that?" You know, I've never seen that kit in my life.
Which
I think that happens a lot.
it's right here. The Ultron crab with burned Appius. Yeah. So
Yeah, the lobster.
the lobster. Yes, this thing transforms into, I guess, the Hygog. I guess you could call it. It's the
Mhm.
weirdest fucking thing I've ever built. But do I recommend it? Probably not. But it
Dude, it
exists.
kind of looks like Aldi if you think about it.
Oh yeah. If I was like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah, I feel like that would be your transformation form. That's crazy. Yeah.
Get a side to side.
That's
There you
right.
go.
yeah.
And then finally, it's from Aya.fm. Is, if you could make your own Gundam, how would it look?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think you
I
need to
feel
go
like
first, Daniel.
yeah,
Mine
it's your turn. It's your turn.
mine would definitely be like black and white, like monochrome, and very like streamlined, like thin, and probably some wings, but like nothing too crazy. Like I like more simple designs for sure.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. I feel like mine would probably surprisingly, I feel like mine would probably be one of those aquatic UC suits where it's like a lot more rotund, a little bit more round, kind of looks like a frog almost. I feel like that would be mine. Uh, color wise, it would probably be something that would not be ever used in the ocean. It has to be like super flashy, like probably like a neon blue with like LEDs around it. and then like 3 eyes.
It's so ugly.
I feel like that would be my
it's
ideal.
so ugly. I'm just thinking about it. It's so ugly.
Yeah, I can't tell if you're trolling or not.
No, I
But
dead ass. I'm so dead ass, bro. It matches my personality.
Just a menace in the waters.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. He already is.
just deformed. Yeah.
This man
Bro,
is banned from local swimming pools for sure.
I'm just saying, if y'all see me swim, y'all gonna get mistaken that by like a whale or something like that.
He's a dolphin for sure.
Yeah. Is that a shark in the distance? No, it's just Jacob's nose.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Dude's doing the backstroke right now.
Yeah, that's what.
The self-sabotage.
Now talking about
insane.
backstrokes.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
And you, Aldi?
Okay. I am very like classic, I think. I love the yellow, I love the blue, I love the red and white. I think if there was like a Gundam that I would kind of design, I would pick that like Universal Century look. Very like, you know, the art style that they would show for those old anime, or like the manga or something, where it was like very detailed, like they'd have the parts off and there'd be like all the mechanisms inside.
Yeah. They have
You
it in
know,
like
like
some of the old manuals, if I remember correctly.
yeah, and so like you'll
Mm.
see like the what is it, the Gundam that Shiromata had in like 08th MS team, the EZ8, I think it was. And how like technical that thing was and how like had like GM legs and like different
Mhm.
kinds of like, you know, body parts. But for me is like the GPO1, I think I really like the look of. I actually have them like back here. The what is it, the EX Gundam, or maybe like the Alex, like somewhere in between all of those.
No. You said EX Gundam.
Mhm.
You're telling you want your dream Gundam mobile suit to be a cockroach?
No, no, no. So not to misconstrue it. So I got him right here. Do you think he
You just
really looks
lost
like a
all your
cockroach?
credibility.
You think this is like a
Okay.
cockroach?
EXS
Okay,
Gundam.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The EXS, I low-key thought you were gonna say like the one from Requiem. Like that
No,
one.
no, 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 no,
Because
no, no,
whenever you
no,
said the EX gun, okay. Oh
no,
my
no,
god,
no.
he redeemed himself. He redeemed himself
Yeah,
just now.
yeah. So that
Oh.
style, like I like the long, thin leg Gundams with the bulky torso that like they had to make look bigger because he was carrying a humongous shield and a rifle. You know, like I really like that. I think it's versatile. I think like when you're watching an anime and you're like, this dude has to swing like a giant axe, he's totally dead. You know, like he's not gonna be fast enough, and it gets outmaneuvered by somebody with a shield and a rifle like every time. I think that is my design for like a Gundam if I was to design one myself.
Very classic.
Dude, I deadass thought I was gonna unfriend you for a second there. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you had your finger on the button right now.
Yeah, no, I was like this close. I have your account pulled up on my other monitor. I swear to God.
But yeah, that wraps it up for all the questions. So I think that's, where we can end the podcast. But overall, like, thank you so much for taking some time off tonight to talk to us and be the first guest. Like, it's been a really fun
Absolutely.
time.
I think it's a huge honor to be your first guest. I know Jacob and I have been like friends for over like 2 years now, something like that. And so to be like the first person on the podcast is really awesome. I can't wait to see people's comments on my opinions and stuff. That's going to be awesome. Can't wait to flood the group chat with that, or for some of our friends to see me like on a call for the first time. So thank you so much for having me. Like, this was awesome, and I hope we get an opportunity to do something like this again in the future.
Dude, I'm just super excited to just have a lot more people being exposed to who you are and your account in general, because I feel like ever since we've pretty much like came up together as creators, where you and me kind of started at the same time. Like I started my Gunpla and you got back into Gunpla video making pretty much at the same time, but I feel like I wouldn't say I left you in the dust, but like I feel like my channel grew a lot faster with the style that it is. and I've always felt really bad for that since whenever I first started to make videos, I kind
Make
of
out.
just I had a like a style. What'd you say?
You said make
We say
out.
what'd you say? Oh yeah. My bad. Relax. Whenever I first starting to make videos, I also looked at your content before. That's whenever you started making like plant videos and stuff like that, and I wanted to do something like that, but obviously I couldn't because I don't have a window right next to me. But yeah, I've always felt super bad that your channel is like kind of like a hidden gem, but at the same time, it's also a perk because like it's like type thing, and I feel
Mhm.
like your channel is like a perfect place for that. And I hope this podcast can expose it to a wider audience that likes the same things as you, pretty much.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think I don't feel um, like why is that person getting more views than me? I think sometimes it's like it's based off of like I guess how much people like it, you know. And the truth is that there are not many people who are as into like the plant aesthetic and stuff, and like or how slow paced my videos can be because I know I've had problems where like if I post a video that's like me building a kit over 2 minutes, like it's just not going to do well. And I am already by nature like somebody who builds pretty slowly. As a like you've built like two high grades or a master grade and a high grade in a day, and I'm like slow down, you know. So I really do appreciate you saying that, but I don't want anyone to think that I hold it against them that they do better. I think I want everyone else to do good because in a way like I'm winning too because I get to like experience all of these other content creators um, doing their thing, you know, and learning it. And it was really cool to see people like Xandra learn to do her setup, you know, like uh, giving her opinions on like what to do and how to film her videos, and then suddenly like people pick it up, and I think that is really neat. Like that is a really cool thing to see that people value your opinion, and I feel like in the community. People have valued my opinion, and so if anything I feel like I've left a mark there, you know, even if it's not on my content. It's that people have like, you know, been influenced by my content and then been able to like excel and get a following because they felt like they were able to take my ideas, and I enjoy that.
I think you're one of the founding fathers. You know, you built the credibility. So hopefully, people make sure we'll put all of his social media in the description. So make sure to go check him out, give him a follow, check out all of his content. So please do that. And
He really is the Gunpla daddy. That's crazy. You should change your name to that.
You know, I feel I'm the Alexander Hamilton of like Gunpla in the sense that like nobody knows who he was, but in a couple of years, when like they make a play about me and there's good music, we're gonna end up with a really good like following.
Dude, yeah.
I'll be
I'm
vintage.
so I honestly can't wait till Hugh Jackman sing your name on stage.
That's what I'm saying.
okay. Well, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. So I guess Jay, if you wanna wrap it up for us.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, thank you, Aldi, for being here. Like you said before, I feel like you've been the longest friend that I've had in this space. The longest in height. No, I'm just kidding. Like, anyways, we've been
I'm
friends
nervous.
for so long, and I'm so happy to have this experience with you. And like you shared a lot, and I feel like, like your opinion obviously matters in the community and to me as well. Like I feel like I've came to you with a lot of like the questions I've had early on in my journey. And yeah, I appreciate you for coming on again. And if everybody wants to see our content, we are available on TikTok and Instagram. Just check in the description. And if you can't read, please just click the hyperlink. It helps you out a lot. But yeah, that is going to be it for this episode. What episode shall this be on? You never said it in the first couple of minutes.
I did, but it is episode 4. So
It's gonna be episode 4. Maybe I wasn't listening, but yes, that's gonna be episode 4. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Aldi. and have a good day.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.
I appreciate it. Have a good one.